Hello and welcome to the Golden Hour, a content series from us here at the Horizon League. Why the Golden Hour? Well, we certainly won't take up a full hour of your time, but it refers to the name of our league, the Horizon, where the earth meets the sky and where the student meets the athlete. We hope you enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Golden Hour, a content series from us here at the Horizon League. I'm Rachel White, here with
Maci Brown.
And Maci is a current Horizon League intern and a former Horizon League student athlete. She played softball at Oakland. So we're going to get to know Maci a little bit better, talk about some of her experiences. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Maci, kind of how you got to where you are today.
So I grew up in Rochester, Indiana. It's a small town, has about 7 stoplights. I always like to tell that fun fact. I'm one of 3. I'm the youngest girl and the only girl. I have 2 older brothers. I played multiple sports just growing up, and I fell in love with softball. I came to the Indy area to play travel softball, so I'm familiar with it. And then I got recruited to go to Oakland University, and a fun fact is I did not know Oakland University, and when I always tell people that I went there, people always say, oh, Oakland, California. And I'm always like, no.
Not quite.
Oakland, Michigan. So, yeah, that's a little bit about my journey there. I had a really amazing experience at Oakland University and with the Horizon League, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Perfect. And now kind of what's brought you to Indy after Oakland?
What brought me to Indy is once I graduated, I knew I wanted to stay in the college athletics realm somehow, some way. So I reached out to the University of Indianapolis and I asked if they had any graduate assistant position open on their softball team. And I got my master's in sports management there, and I really love the Indy area. It has so much for sports to offer, more than I even knew. So that is how I got to Indianapolis, and now looking post-grad, I'm now an intern at the Horizon League, which is a full circle moment. Mm-hmm. So I absolutely love it here. At the Horizon League, I'm just assisting within all the departments, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that.
It's awesome. Tell us a little bit more about kind of the opportunity you had to be a GA with the softball program at UIndy and what that experience was like.
Absolutely. So they are known to have a pretty excelling program.
Yeah.
And I was really excited to be on staff for that, to see it at a different division and see what the postseason was like. We had a really good experience at the GLVC tournament. We were tournament champions there. We went to regionals at Tiffin University in Ohio, and then we went to super regionals at Saginaw Valley in Michigan. It was a really cool experience to be a part of it. It's cool to be on the other side of it for coaching, to see it through a different lens, not so much as the student-athlete lens and seeing everything that goes on behind the scenes, and just a little bit more appreciation to what all the coaches do that you don't really think about as a student-athlete.
For sure. Going back to your time as a student-athlete, obviously in the Horizon League, at Oakland, playing softball, what was that experience like? What did you really take from that?
That experience was nothing short of amazing. I always tell people Oakland is my second home, and I spent 4 years there. I spent it with some of the best people. I was surrounded by such a good community, not only staff-wise, but also people-wise.
Yeah.
Those girls will be like my sisters for life, and I know it's like a cliche to say, but it's the truth. Like, I really did make the best memories there. My favorite experience probably was in 2022 when we won the Horizon League softball championship. We went to Northwestern for regionals. It was just an amazing experience overall. And I always love watch postseason softball. So it was like a dream to make it there. And then being able to have the opportunity to play under Coach Lauren, who's now at Maryland.
Yeah.
But that was a super exciting move for her. But she was an amazing coach. She really helped develop me not only as a player, but as a person.
It's awesome. And while you were at Oakland on the softball team, you also had an opportunity to be part of a Horizon League SAC and represent Oakland kind of at the league level and come to some league meetings. So what was that experience like, and what would you say were maybe some key things that you learned from that you've been able to use moving forward?
It was an honor to be a part of the Horizon League SAC as well. A really big influential person in that is Ashley Stone, who is now at Iowa State, but she played a huge role in that. She really helped me develop as a student athlete and having a voice for others. And when I came here for the Horizon League SAC initiative for those 2 days, we were able to meet with all the other student athletes that are also Horizon League reps. And I thought that was really cool that we got the experience to also stay with them, create those bonds they don't normally get with other sports.
Yeah.
Like, I know some softball girls in other schools, but I don't. Like, I stayed with Maddie Albaugh from Youngstown basketball. And so it was really cool to just like hear her perspective and hear her experiences and be able to share those with each other. Being in the meetings, I was able to learn one with how the student athletes just did about an elevator pitch and learning what goes into that. We got to learn some financial literacy, which I think is super huge going into the real world after college, I think it hits a lot of us faster than what we expected.
sure.
So it's awesome to have that. But just the overall experience, being able to also meet with other staff at schools, learning their perspectives. And then that was also the year of the rebranding of the Horizon League H.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to see like the creativeness that went into that and the thought that went into it. So overall, it was an amazing experience just to learn more.
That's awesome. And then it really came full circle for you recently when you got to kind of help us put on the SAC meetings for kind of the new group of HL SAC. So very, very cool. I know you talked about winning the championship and that being one of your favorite moments. What other kind of memories stand out from your time as a student athlete?
Some other memories that stand out, I mean, it's truly as simple of just like taking the field, being around my teammates every practice. It was honestly like a gift to be able to live with them every day. Like once I graduated and I was home and August kind of rolled back around of this previous year, it kind of hit me. I was like, well, I won't be living with my best friends again.
Yeah.
So those were some really amazing memories. Like I'll never take those for granted. And also I have to shout out Oakland basketball because we were able to take a charter bus there. Oakland provided a fan bus for that.
That's awesome.
And it was so fun to be able to watch them play against NC State, regardless of the outcome, like what they did for the Horizon League and Oakland as a school. It was just super awesome to see them compete at that level.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about, obviously, you're not too far removed from being a student athlete, but you've been a little bit on the coaching side, now doing some internships. What are some things that you've learned that you could maybe give some advice to our current student athletes on?
Some advice that I could give from a professional standpoint would just be to take those opportunities, make those connections. I know that it seems super scary talking to adults that are set in their career paths, but I think that's really the best way to put yourself out there. Horizon League SAC was huge for this internship. I was able to make those connections and then hold on to those whenever championships were hosted at Oakland, and I was able to see you guys and talk to you. So I think the connections is really just a huge piece. And then from a personal standpoint for student athletes, I think the theme that I've said with my experience is just like to never take it for granted. And I know that's always a cliche. People always say time goes so fast, but I really wish that I would have leaned a little bit more into that and just soaked in those moments more than I did. But yeah.
For sure. What are some skills that you think you had to develop as a student athlete that then have helped you kind of as you tried to make the move into the professional realm?
I'd consider myself a type A person.
Okay.
And I really like organization and keeping things neat. Like I have a color-coded planner for all my classes, all of those things.
Well, now that you've graduated from Oakland and no longer a student athlete, you've really moved into the category that we call beyond the horizon. So I'm going to ask you to look a little beyond the horizon here, Maci. What do you think is next for you, or what are you kind of hoping that we'll see from you in the future?
I'm hoping to just stay in the college athletics or even athletics realm in general for the future. I really enjoyed the coaching side, obviously enjoyed being a student athlete. I enjoy being a voice for the student athletes. I have loved working with every department at the Horizon League. It's really helped open my eyes to different departments that I didn't know if I would be interested in or anything. So I really just like being in the athletics realms in general.
That's awesome. And you're in a good place to do it. So certainly here in Indianapolis, we have lots of things going on. So one final question for you, Maci, and this is always a fun one. We like to end every show with a start, bench, cut. We'll give you 3 options and let you kind of put them in your order. Fast pitch, slow pitch, wiffle ball.
Ooh. I'm going to start fast pitch. I feel like I have to stay loyal to that. I'm going to cut slow pitch.
Okay.
I played slow pitch in like a mush ball league, and that was challenging.
Okay.
I definitely overestimated how challenging that'd be. And I would bench wiffle ball. I enjoy wiffle ball.
Okay. You heard it here first from Maci, our resident softball expert. So once again, I'm Rachel White.
Maci Brown.
Here on the Golden Hour episode from the Horizon League. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Golden Hour. Be sure to follow along with all the Horizon League news and action on our social media platforms at Horizon League and at horizonleague.com. Are you hungry? Cluster Truck is Indy's go-to delivery and pickup kitchen. With always free delivery and over 100 menu items, there is something to satisfy everyone's craving. Hand-stretched pizzas, pad thai, tacos, salads, wraps, burritos, and more delivered directly to your curb. Delivering to Fountain Square, downtown Indy, Carmel, Castleton, Broad Ripple, Fishers, and more. Use code HLRadio at checkout to receive $5 off your next order of $20 or more. Order now at clustertruck.com.